it's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about robotic lawn mowing, because I'm always saying it'll make the industry more professional. And when people ask that, it's because, or ask why I think that, it's because, a robot's going to have kind of a fixed cost, and you're going to know how much money you want to make on that robot. And if I have my way, I'll just be the guy that does robotic mowing as a subcontractor, right?
Right. Right.
And all anybody has to know is my price is 205. You mark it up whatever you want, but I'm charging you 205, and that's where we're at.
Right.
So, in a month. So when I hear what you're saying, what people need to understand if they get with you is you're truly going to help the industry become and be viewed as more professional. Because I think this is one of the things that confuses the consumer. The consumer doesn't understand why one company wants $350 to put in a parkway tree, but another company charges 186. And they're like, what's different about that tree? And what they don't realize is the only difference is one company understands their costs and understands that they're a for-profit company.
Yes.
And the other company says, okay, that tree cost me this. How much money do I want to get paid to install it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I applaud you for having that vision and want to do that, because our industry needs it. Our industry is so fragmented. It's so fragmented. Nobody sees us as professionals.
We do.
Truly. I mean, very few people do. So I think it's awesome. So thanks for sharing what, that
Yeah.
vision.
I think there needs to be more education. I've been to a couple of shows, a couple of like landscape shows, and, I've been to a few of and it's great because they always feature the next lawnmower or the next, other piece of equipment, or the rake that has two heads, and I'm like, I think we got to teach people how to be more professional, also, because if they're more professional, they're going to really understand how to use these tools, right?
Yes.
You have a great idea, a robotic lawnmower, which I'm like, that thing is out of sight. And I'm thinking about how do we incorporate capture with the robotic lawnmower so that, we're getting data, we're providing the customer with these kind of visual automated reports that they get. We can price and do all these great things. But, I really think that there's an opportunity to educate and educate the landscape sector and operators, and get to a point where we're narrowing that pricing gap, right? It's very, very important.
But first, there's always opportunity to collaborate. So if that interests you, we'll collaborate.
Let's do that.
If we continue down this road, it'd be like an episode of Shark Tank, right, on the podcast.
Yeah.
But on a different note, you brought up about how you go to all these trade shows, which really haven't happened much since COVID, but all it is equipment that can somehow make people do it faster. That's what I see.
Yes.
We go from a 72-inch mower to an 84-inch mower, and what nobody talks about is 84-inch mowers don't fit half the places you need them, but somebody sees it and they're like, oh wow, I can mow 13 acres an hour with this thing. I'll buy it, but then they don't realize most of their mowing that doesn't even fit. And by the way, it doesn't even fit on a trailer. The trailers are not wide enough to fit the mower. So now, unless you're running it down the street, so I go to these shows and I look at it and I'm like, okay, our solution to keep pricing fixed, because pricing is stagnant in our industry, is just make better equipment that costs more money that doesn't fit on the trailer.
Yeah. Agreed.
The better solution is to say people have been charging the same pricing for landscaping since the 80s, not able to adjust for inflation. I mean, seriously, think about this. If so many landscapers are scared to go to a customer and ask for more money, even though fuel is more money, the trucks are more money, the labor is more money. We offer benefits now, at landscape companies when you go over 50 employees. There's all sorts of things that have changed in the industry, but people are still willing to do work for $30 to $50 an acre, for mowing.
Right.
And I'm constantly questioning that. Now in the robotics world, you got manufacturers out there that are offering a product that can mow the grass every day, but are trying to go direct sell a return on investment and say we can do it cheaper than your commercial landscaper. Well, why? You're giving 6 times the service. We are stuck in this industry of providing more and more service for less and less money.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the reason it happens is there's no book or there's no chart that says this is what we should charge, because nobody wants to talk to each other.
Right. Nobody wants to. So it's an interesting story. So I know a lot about pricing, and you're exactly right. If you, I, and 5 other landscapers were in the same market and we said, "Hey, we're going to charge this much for labor," we would all. That's Taft-Hartley violation, right? We could face price fixing charges, and we can get in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Correct.
However, I've always felt that the people who should be driving pricing are the suppliers in our industry. Driving pricing education are the suppliers, because they can do it. They can show you how to price. And what they don't realize is, this is where our suppliers are, they don't realize if they help our landscape operators, commercial landscape operators, understand more about pricing, and landscape operators are able to raise their prices and make more profits, then in turn, the suppliers can then start raising their prices.